Hey, what's up guys? Captain Zac and Mary here. It is late May and we're out here doing some halibut fishing. So it's a pretty classic Alaskan day, just cloudy, windy, and it's spitting rain. So the conditions aren't great, probably like 2 to 3 foot sea, so a little bit choppy. But we're just gonna do some back trolling. So we're gonna bounce some jigs and see if we can find a halibut. The tide is pretty favorable. So we've got a lot of water moving right now. So that's good, and we're about an hour before the high tide, so we're hoping to catch a little bit of high tide magic. We'll probably be back trolling in about, call it 150 to 300 feet, a couple different spots, and if we don't do any good there, we'll probably move into some deeper water. I do have the electric reel in case we want to take some super deep drops and see if we can drum up a bite. I've got the 7-ouncer all loaded up, a big piece of herring and some fresh squid. So that's squid from just last weekend. Big squid tentacle there. That ought to get him. Okay, little fish on. Finally. A couple of swings and misses there. This feels like maybe a rockfish or something. If this is a halibut, it would be probably one of the smallest halis of the season. I was down in 280. Oh, it may be the smallest halibut of the season.
Oh, wow.
Well, there you go. Just a lunker halibut. Okay, well, I think we're gonna send this monster back to the deep. Yeah, between the wind and the current, I think I'm busting out the 24-ouncer now, just to get a little more up and down, blowing the boat all around, and those lighter jigs are going every which way, so that'll make it a little more fishable. This will bring it closer, but it'll still... Ooh, fish on. Go on. Man. And that felt like a little better one. Okay, given the size of that tiny little halibut, just in case it's a chicken factory down there, I am busting out the 2 Chicken Slayer rigs. So I've got Chicken Slayer, that's that 1-ounce Fire Eye Glow Jig. I tip these with some herring and a tiny piece of squid. And then I've got a big heavy lead. So that's so heavy, I'm gonna send it down on the electric reel just to make it easier to get up and down. Okay, fish on. Nice. That was pretty deep. That was down in 340. Well, there you go, the Chicken Slayer pays off. I always say that'll hook anything on the ocean floor. So if anything's biting, nibbling, for some reason not getting hooked, the Chicken Slayer will usually hook up for you. My money's on a small halibut or a rockfish here. Okay, there's 200 feet. Yeah, if this were a halibut, I feel like I'd be getting a few more head thumps. There were some good shakes right off the bat, but now it's pretty much just steady straight up. Okay, a few more shakes, right around 50 feet. It's almost game time. Okay, 15 feet. Oh. A little Pacific cod. Well, there you go. A little jig and a little cod. I think I'm gonna keep this for some halibut bait. Okay, I just reset the drift. Hopefully we can find a halibut here. Oop. Okay, fish on. That was cool. Might be a halibut too. Yeah, I got some thumpage. Cool. That was down in about 180. just said, right after that little Pacific cod, I reset the drift. Maybe some of that high tide magic was still around. And almost immediately, seems like we've got a halibut on the line. Okay, under 100 feet. Got my gaff ready just in case. This isn't my normal setup. I've got that heavy lead at the bottom of this rig. So I can't just fling the halibut over like I usually do. Okay, there's 50 feet. And Mary's taking a break, so this might be a solo landing. There's 10 feet. Here we go. Okay. Okay, just a little guy. Well, no need for a gaff there, but still always awesome to catch a little halibut. I think we'll send him back. Okay, well, we're on a positive trend here. First we caught the smallest halibut of the season, then we upgraded to a small Pacific cod, and then just the halibut just now, which was a little bigger than the first halibut. So maybe if we keep heading in that direction, a 50 or 60 pounder will show up. Sweet, fish on. This doesn't feel as big. I thought we were on our way to upgrading. Might be headed for a downgrade instead. There's 100 feet. My money's on either a cod or a rockfish. I'm not getting those halibut shakes. It's a quillback rockfish. Check out those spines. No wonder they call it a quillback. Okay, I just reset the drift and I actually just kept that quillback rockfish. So you're allowed one of those a day. And I figured, what the heck, that'll make some really delicious fish tacos for later. Okay, fish on. Nice. Well, that took about 10 seconds. Okay, that has a hally feel. We'll see if it's any bigger than the last two. Oh yeah, that chicken slayer is just super effective at drumming up a bite. That little 1 ounce Fire Eye Glow Jig. If you're ever looking to just get some action, just to get something on the line, put a fish in the boat, that 1 ounce Fire Eye Glow Jig is hard to beat. Okay, that was down in about 250 or so. We're just crossing through 100 now. So we've got kind of an interesting current going on here. The boat's spinning all around. Yeah, definitely some high tide magic going on. It seems like every time it hits the ground at this point, a fish bites it. You just need to find some more quality halibut. Okay, 30 feet, almost game time. Yeah, just a little halibut. Oh, another little chicken nugget. I think we'll send him back. Okay, I think I'll take one more drift on this spot. Seems like a pretty automatic bite, but not really the size fish I'm looking for. So I think I'm gonna try to take a little bit bigger swing at a different spot and see if we can maybe find a slightly bigger halibut. Okay, fish on. One more, probably little halibut. You can feel that tail shaking to round out the this little chicken spot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I stayed here all day, I'd catch one essentially every cast. So you could catch a couple dozen little ones or try to take a little bit bigger swing and see if we could put a nice quality halibut in the boat. A little bit of a side rock going on here. That's one nice thing about the electric reel. It really does help keep steady tension. So even if the boat's sort of jostling around, you're less likely to slack that line because the reel's keeping the tension. Okay, there's 30 feet, almost game time. You can see the rod going bump, 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 bump. That's that tail flipping. Oh, well, hey, there you go. Another little halibut. Okay, now I'm looking for the big bite. I've got the 16 ouncer, the halibut pounder. I'll load it up with this monster glow grub, some herring, and then I took a nice chunk of that cod that I kept. So basically, I kept that cod for halibut bait. So I took probably a half of a side of a fillet and just cut it right like that, cut it right off the fish. And it's gonna flutter just perfectly. A lot of fresh scent there, and it's important to make sure you still have hook clearance. See how I still have enough hook clearance there? So if a big one bites, I'll be able to still land the hook set. Got one. What? Looks like there's one on there. Something was thumping. Yeah. Sweet. Never know. Could be a 50-pound halibut. Just racing to the top. Oh, Mary with a nice rockfish. Well, sadly that big bite never came, and it's time to head back to the dock now. But you know what? It was still a really awesome day out here. We expected it to be windier. It was about 2 or 3 foot seas right off the bat, and the wind just laid down. So it was a really pleasant day. We were able to see some humpbacks fluking in the distance, which was really cool. And we caught 4 halibut. So no monsters, but any day you catch 4 halibut, that's a good day. And then there's 2 rockfish, and then the cod as well. And I think those rockfish are going to become some fresh rockfish tacos. So I'm really looking forward to that. All in all, just a really fun day out here. Good stuff. Halibut fishing here near Juneau, Alaska.